Hey there guys, it's Ben here from GameRVW.com. We are back once again with our weekly gaming news roundup for Sunday the 18th of August. So without any further ado, let's get on with this week's news. Firstly, we have some news about Fallout 76's Vault 94 raid from a Bethesda deep dive article. This is going to be an instanced 4-person raid, meaning that once you enter with your team you can't be interrupted by other players, so you essentially enter a unique run of that raid whilst you and your team are inside, so no one else can jump in and ruin things for you, which is a system that many MMOs use for dungeon running. The concept of Vault 94 is that it was run by a group of pacifists who were essentially charged with restoring the Earth's natural environment, so they went in there trying to grow a lot of flora. The group have since left, but the vault is now essentially overrun by nature, so you and your team have got to go in there and clear all that out. It's possible to run it alone, however Bethesda recommends going in with a full team of at least 50 plus characters. There will be 3 missions that determine the objectives whilst you're inside the raid, with 1 mission being available at a time, and they rotate each week. So for 1 week there'll be 1 mission, if you do the raid next week there'll be the 2nd mission, then the 3rd mission, and they'll keep rotating on a weekly basis. There's also going to be 3 difficulty modes, with Novice, which is the easiest of the mode, being the only one that isn't timed. So there is going to be some timed element to this. Each mission can only be completed once per difficulty per day, so you can only complete a mission on Novice, Standard and then Expert on each day and then claim the rewards, but you can't earn the mission rewards multiple times a day for the same difficulty. Higher difficulties will, unsurprisingly, yield more rewards, including Vault Steel, which is a new resource that is used to craft armour sets. This raid will initially only be available to PC players, with its launch being included with patch 12 on the August 20th. Bethesda states that if Vault raids on PC run smoothly over the following days, we will open the Vault for consoles as well. Next up, we've got some info about some new Pokémon Sword and Shield battle mechanics that were unveiled at the Pokémon World Championships recently. This trailer they released shows a couple of new abilities, which includes Neutralizing Gas, which is an ability which nullifies the effect of all other abilities on the battlefield, and Mirror Armor, which reflects stat lowering effects back at the opponent. We've also got 2 new held items that they showed, including Room Service, which lowers a Pokemon's speed whilst the Trick Room effect is active, and Jetpack, which switches a Pokemon out if its stats are lowered for any reason. So not a huge amount of info for the game itself. This info is probably going to be of more use to those who are involved in the competitive scene, which is probably understandable given where the information was released. So nothing major for the game, we'll have to wait until we get some more updates on the actual game itself. Next up, GameSpot released some information about Project Scarlet from its recent interview with Phil Spencer, who's the head of Xbox. Whilst there aren't any specific hardware details, it did give some interesting insight into the focus of the console. One key quote that stood out was, "I think the area that we really want to focus on next generation is frame rate and playability of the games. Ensuring that the games load incredibly fast, ensuring that the game is running at the highest frame rate possible. We're also the Windows company, so we see the work that goes on for PC and the work that developers are doing. People love 60 frames per second games, so getting games close to run at 4K 60 FPS I think will be a real design goal for us." Phil also talks about the continuing trend of the backwards compatibility in Xbox consoles and how it's important. So it's interesting to see that the focus of Project Scarlet, assuming nothing changes down the line with how they want to progress with it, is on performance and frame rate capability. Versions of the Xbox One are capable of running 60 FPS gameplay, but it seems that there'll be a real push to have games run at 60 FPS on a 4K setting. Being able to cut down on the loading times and ensuring that your games can run consistently would be a great sales point for the console. We've got the release of classic World of Warcraft around the corner, but it seems that Blizzard is going to encounter some server trouble. Players that have an active World of Warcraft subscription can create up to 3 characters before Classic WoW launches in order to reserve the names they want ahead of time. Choosing these names also denotes which realm or server you're going to be playing on. A community manager by the name of Kvax, or Kvax possibly, I'm not quite sure, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, posted a pinned thread on the WoW forums about an issue with the Herod US PvP server. The post states that if no players were to move realms, logging queues in excess of 10,000 players are a certainty. Blizzard have opened up a new server named Stalag in order to try and ease the pressure. This news denotes a few things. Firstly, there is likely to be some server trouble at launch, which isn't really surprising as there are a lot of players who are eager to try Classic again, and previous WoW expansions, although this isn't technically an expansion, have caused server issues due to the influx of players trying to get on simultaneously. The post states that Blizzard won't increase the server caps as they don't believe that this is a long-term solution, but there's no mention of forcing players to move realms either. The news also gives an idea of the demand for Classic WoW. as name reservations from currently active players alone have alerted Blizzard to a potential server population issue, even taking into account that they have confirmed that the server capacity in 2019 is far higher than it was in 2006. Some login trouble around launch time is to be expected, but here's hoping that we won't have too many issues or that this won't affect other servers, as the numbers for players who haven't yet reserved names or returning players who have yet to resubscribe haven't yet been factored in. On the plus side, the fact that Classic WoW is already causing potential server issues on much more up-to-date servers than it was running on 13 years ago shows just how enthusiastic the community is to get stuck in with Classic. Finally, and this arguably isn't actually a news piece but it's definitely noteworthy in itself, we've got a new trailer for the Skyrim mod Skyblivion. Yes, what you're looking at really is just a mod. This mod puts the world of Cyrodiil from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion into Skyrim's game engine. This includes all of the quests, locations and characters, and it's 100% free. For a free, voluntary operation, this is a staggering undertaking, and deserves all of the support it can get. So I'd recommend to everyone to watch the full trailer with its audio and then go check out the game's website. On that, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please watch the other videos on the channel, check out the website, and I will see you next week.